Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I want to introduce myself. My name is Najwa Koturnada Anastasia. I'm from Class B, Chemistry, Faculty of Science and Technology, UIN Maulana Malik Ibrahim Malang. Here, I will convey the result of the resume from 3 videos of environmental chemistry course that discuss about sampling strategy, contamination and loss in water analysis, and contaminants from reagents. First, sampling strategies. A. Sampling strategy and preservation. The sampling strategy is to collect a certain volume of a water body to be studied with the smallest possible amount but still can be representative and still have all the same characteristic as the water body. An example is taking samples of seawater, lake water, and others. This strategy is very important because the sample, when it is taken and has been used, the volume must remain the same so that it can be called valid data. Sampling is divided into 3 steps as follows. 1. Representative sampling. 2. Transport and preservation of samples. 3. Chemical analysis of sample, or the test parameters can be physical or chemical parameters or both. B. Preparation of sampling and preservation. 1. Bottles that will be used to take samples must be clean and have been rinsed with distilled water or distilled water first, then followed by the liquid that will be used to fill the water and dry if possible. 2. The same applies to sampling equipment such as pump pipes and others. 3. Contamination from metals or sampling equipment that can be dissolved in the sample must be prevented. 4. Bronze brass can be dissolved in acidic or alkaline water, so care must be taken of the metal, while plastic and rubber materials can dissolve in industrial wastewater containing organic solvents or oil and gasoline. For example, do not choose containers made of plastic or rubber if the sample contains organic or non-polar. 5. Samples can be taken separately using a plastic or open glass bottle, bucket, and weighted, for example, by a lead ring around the neck, tied with a rope, and then put into a river, a well, and so on. C. Taking samples at a certain depth. 1. Provide with a closed bottle which can be opened when it reaches the desired depth. 2. Another way is to use a kind of pump that sucks. This is due to avoid surface areas that can contain suspended solids. 3. Samples from tap water can be taken with an open beaker or a bottle that will be closed depending on the analysis plan. 4. Using an automatic sampler, which is a special tool for consecutive sampling. Next, the automotive sampler tool consists of 1. The suction pipe depth of the sampling point is limited to about 5 meters under the tool. 2. Pump 3 clock to control sampling frequency. 4. Tool for dividing samples into bottles for mixed samples. 5. An isothermic city containing bottles of mixed sample by cooling by ordinary ice or dry ice so that sample can be preserved at least a day before being brought to the laboratory. This is because the air in the sample is lost so that there is no change. Next, D. There are also disturbances that may arise during the storage and transport of samples. 1. Gas such as O2 and CO2 can be absorbed by the sample water or can disappear from the sample water into the air. 2. Suspend and colonial substance can form their own VOCs and precipitate so that there is one that is different from the state when it was taken. 3. Like substance and liquid such as mud and float on the surface. 4. Some solutes can be oxidized by dissolved oxygen so that is changed into other compounds. A. The method of preserving samples depends on the analysis to be carried out and the elements to be studied. Next, contamination and loss in water analysis. Contamination is defined as the entry of unwanted compounds into the sample during the sample pre-treatment process and during analysis. Source of contamination is sample can come from atmosphere, operator, equipment, water, and reagents. 1. Atmosphere. The atmosphere can affect the analyte concentration in the sample. This is due to the presence of particulate tranche elements on the cell surface and suspended material. 2. Analyst or operator. An analyst can provide contamination through clothing, as well as activities such as smoking, breathing, or NaCl. Smoke, dust which contains metal, lotion, powder, so analysts are usually advised to wear masks, gloves to avoid any contaminants. 3. Equipment. There are several analyte samples that must use special containers according to their characteristics so that they will not increase or decrease the amount or concentration of the analyte. Next, anticipation of contaminants from containers. Wax or soap glassware using a mixture of dilute solution in a ratio of 1:1. When not in use, the equipment is stored by immersing it in an aqueous solution of 0.1 m HCl or HNO3 to keep glass contamination to a minimum, or at least the day before measurement. Hot HCl or HNO3 can be used to clean the glass surface for metals, equipment that may also contaminate. 1. Fused silica or quartz used at high temperatures and safer from metal contamination. Contamination may come from materials that have been absorbed by silica in previous use, through plastic or polyethylene and polypropylene, one resistant to attack by most reagents used. 2 can stand the heat. 3 contains additives so that they can dissolve so that they can contaminate the analyte. 3 Teflon or tetrafluoroethylene polymer, one used at temperatures up to 300 degrees Celsius. 2 inert or small effect to almost an analytical reagents. 4 PVC or polyvinyl chloride contains metals with high enough levels Zn equals 7 ppm, Fe equals 70 and 200 ppm, Sp equals 3 ppm, and Cu equals 2.6 ppm, and also contains metals Pb, Sn, Cd, and Ti. Before us, it needs to be cleaned because of the possibility of contamination with polymers such as zinc stearate on the surface. And 5. Rubber. This is recommended not to use rubber equipment in the analysis of trace. Rubber containing several compound additives such as zinc oxide, antimony compounds, and Pb compounds. 6. Filter paper is most contain metals with varying content. Next, water or solvent contamination. Water is used in large quantities with a ratio of greater than 1000. There will be increasing contaminants with a concentration ratio of 1000 times. So it is not recommended to use any water or tap because of its high conductivity or number of ions. Uh, it needs to be distilled to reduce metal contamination in water. So there are terms aqueduct or one distillation and aquabites or two-time distillation. Water needs to be passed through the column of ion exchange resin or two times distillation to maximize it with a distillation result that cannot be reduced or unchanged or constant. Next, contaminants from reagents. The concentration of reagents can be affected in the analyte concentration from the environment is small enough. Contamination from reagents can be grouped into mineral acid and ammonia, 2 inorganic solid, 3 organic reagents, and the less organic solvents. Mineral acid and ammonia. Mineral acid. Most mineral acid contain certain amounts of metal. Extra pure acid is contain metals is very low levels. Generally, reagents with quality have a fairly expensive price. 2 extra pure generally contains a fairly low metal concentration, but the content of some elements varies from the one product to another. 3 analytical reagents. 2 grade acids usually contain metals as listed in the table, or acid can be purified by distillation. Ammonia solution in water placed in a glass bottle will be contaminated by silica, aluminum, calcium, and other elements that may be caused by attack by alkaline solution on the glass. Analytical reagents ammonia can contain heavy metals in very low. The adsorption of the metal by the glass. Next, in organic solid, reagent quality in organic solid are usually sufficiently pure to be used directly without pre-purification, but a blank control solution must be prepared. Purification is usually by means of crystallization or filtration. Next, organic reagents. When organic metal or chelating reagents are usually derived from solvents or reagents used in the synthesis of reagents. Organic reagents of complex or complexers are usually used in such small quantities that contamination can often be neglected. And the less organic solvents. The metal content in the solvent is usually relatively low, which must be watched out for the presence of other organic compounds dissolved in the solvent because it usually interferes with spectrometric determination. During the preparation, separation, and determination stakes, the analyte may be lost from the sample by the following factors. 1. Absorption or container equipment from PPA from analyst. 2. Volatility or evaporating. And 3. Co-precipitation or precipitating. That's all I can say. I'm sorry if there are wrong words or there is a discussion that cannot be understood. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.